Don't respond. Don't respond. Don't respond. Hey, can you guys hear me? Hello, 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 hello. I thought XI was calling me now. I'm up. I don't hear them talking to me anymore. I hear the news conference. I don't hear the producer. Okay.
Okay, something's fucking up here, and I'm not sure what's going on. Let me figure out what's going on here. Who do we got here?
Pardon?
Who are you?
Pardon?
Well, who are you? Do I know you?
No, I'm just chilling.
Okay. Okay. Now what's happening here? I don't know what this world is. What the hell is life anymore? And what the hell was going on there at the beginning? Something's not adding up here. It's impossible. What the fuck is going on with this fucking insanity, yo? What the hell? about this one? What about this one? It was in crazy out in Atlanta. Atlanta went fucking nuts, and then the police started firing, but it all seems staged. It was all staged, and they were wondering what the fuck I was doing. They called me the producer. What the fuck does that mean? No, they're not doing anything. Now the motor stopped. What the fuck is this? Like, honestly, I don't even know. I'm the producer? What the... Of what? Of what? This is the weirdest thing to like what I'm doing, like experiment. Like I don't even know what the hell's going on here. Well, why am I the producer? Why they called me the producer? Did you hear them? Now they're saying they didn't call me shit.
Okay, cool. Let me know
What the fuck is going on? They're whispering things to me through this Minneapolis live protest on Global News. There's weird shit going on here.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that. Yeah.
What is going on? Well, this is very fascinating.
Capitol stayed there for a little bit, and
then he'll stay there for a little bit. It's just cut in like that. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna watch some other weird live shit that's probably not live. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. This is the weirdest shit ever.
At the people who have taken a car, and it looks like it's a whoa.
Oh, here.
It looks like it's a car that they have.
We're gonna start the action as soon as we get here, right?
On the back of it. But the protesters.
No, this is ancient provocateurs. This is entirely sketched in live time. I'm watching it, and they're calling me the producer.
Behind that car, boy, the driver.
They're like, he's not saying anything.
I saw some of the projectiles going through the passenger side window, and that driver has now cleared from the car. This is going to be an issue. The protesters are trying to make their stand right here. They're not putting other trash cans there, and clearly the police are not going to let.
Yo,
that
it
stand for
actually
very
is
long.
crazy. I
Yeah.
honestly,
I wouldn't think so.
I'm pretty
For
sure
me,
I'm not the
this evokes,
producer of this, you know?
I'm a musical theater fan, and I can't help but think of Les Miserables when you see a barricade go up like
Musical
that,
theater.
a blockade that people throw up, and it does worry me, Dan, because that tells me they are prepared for more serious back and forth and need that barricade to stay behind. What else are they bringing over? Let's see, they've got newspaper stands.
No, they're talking about the
What
barricade.
else do you see, Dan?
What do they see?
Right, they have some newspaper stands. There's a trash cans, and that car is the main impediment, obviously.
They're naming stuff around
I
me.
see a couple of protesters that are ducking behind that vehicle,
Oh, ducking.
pretty close. They're hiding directly behind that. Oh, I'm looking at now at the other side. That the vehicle definitely was set up for the protest. There are protest signs on this side, which is away from the police officers. But I tell you, that is the place you don't want to be, behind that vehicle. This afternoon, the fire from the rubber bullets and the flashbangs are typically going straight down the street, generally. So that is really the center of the danger zone in terms of being a protester. If you want to take a rubber bullet, it's going to be right in front of where the police are.
Right.
And now there are more people who are gathering behind that car. And boy, I don't want to see how this plays out.
No, and you run the risk of getting hit in the face by one of those rubber bullets or the eye. It can be very dangerous, as you've pointed out, Dan. And it's interesting. What we don't know are these people that we're looking at now with the car. Were they part of that protest on Highway 101 earlier? Are these other protesters that come in, as we've seen so often in the Bay Area,
Oh, no.
come in and join protests and escalate deliberately with police?
Well, it seems to me, Dan, that these people were prepared. Now, I don't know whether they were out there on 101 earlier, but that car was definitely part of the protest. They prepared to be part of the protest. And I'm trying to get a little close to see what's written on the vehicle, but I'm not gonna chance it. I'm not gonna get that close.
No.
But they definitely were prepared. And boy, there are people just standing up right in the line of fire of those projectiles, and I just I just don't get it. And I got to say, Dan, that you make a good point again about watching out for your eyesight, for your eyes, and some of those projectiles were missing well high of the protesters. They were over their heads, and so typically you are supposed to be firing at someone's midsection or below
To sting them, but
police,
not injure
at
them.
least
Dan,
exactly right.
they just brought in another piece of, is that a dumpster or something they just pushed in for their barricade, for their blockade, which seems to be very heavy duty, that they're uprighting right
Oh, look
there.
at that. Yeah, that's actually some sort of a fixture. It looks like it's a display cabinet or a refrigerator.
Oh,
From my vantage point,
Yeah.
it's got a glass front on it. It looks like it's got a cooling unit on top of it.
Oh, look at it over there.
Yeah.
all right, Dan, don't go away, and we're going to keep showing what's happening there in San Jose.
That's the
but we
refrigerator
also
over
want to
there.
go briefly to Oakland, because a protest
His vantage
is about
point.
to
How does he
start
see it
there,
from
and
there,
people are
though?
starting to gather, and our Eric Thomas
I
is there
can't
with them.
physically see it.
Obviously,
I know it's
watching
there.
what's happening in San Jose, Eric, that's got to make Oakland police quite nervous.
How is
And they are, and they've been saying that. I think what's going on here, though, is there are two protests that we were told there'd be one at 5 o'clock. That is this one, which has been growing over the past hour, maybe 100 people there standing peacefully with signs and chanting right on Broadway and right in front of City Hall. Now, if you look over here where I am, come back over here, Rick. That's not the protest people are concerned about. They're concerned about the one that's supposed to get underway at 8 o'clock. That's why all along this street, you'll see buildings like this with their windows already boarded up.
A few dozen people marched down Oakland streets yesterday, blocking several intersections, demonstrating their pain and frustration over the death of George Floyd during an arrest by Minneapolis police. That's as rowdy as it got yesterday.
Can you guys hear me? probably about 20 feet in front of Ryan right now. I'm on the other side behind that line of police officers and law enforcement right now with that crowd right here. And we did just again.
Can't hear you anymore. What's happening? Okay, this is what's weird. I paused it on the video of the live stream. At the moment, it has a drill bit and a screw being screwed into wood. That's my cabin thing I was doing. They're getting information from me somehow, okay? These live streams are not, these things are not, it's a trick to download information from you. Am I the producer? Why did they call me the producer? What am I producing? Sperm? This is like, where are they? Where's the live stream?
But today, police learned things could be different.
Respond and to call in additional help from Alameda County Sheriff's Office and other surrounding municipalities in mutual aid if they are needed. They fervently hope that won't be needed this evening. And of course, here at ABC 7 News, we'll be keeping track of what's going on here in Oakland, as well as what you've been seeing going on in San Jose today. And we'll bring that to you at 11 o'clock, if not before. Live in Oakland, Eric Thomas, ABC 7 News.
Hey, Eric, be careful, okay?
Indeed. All right, let's turn back to on the phone Mayor Sam Liccardo.
Why do they call
Mayor
me
San
Eric?
Jose. Sam, you there?
I am.
Thanks for coming on again. We appreciate it. When we spoke with you last, these protests were quite peaceful in San Jose. Things have changed considerably. What are your thoughts?
Well, they have taken a turn. We know we've seen an assault on an officer. We sent to Valley Medical Center. We've seen some damage. And obviously the officers have really stepped in, and they're not going to tolerate any violence, nor should they. So I think they're showing an enormous amount of restraint. We've had some of the protesters, most of the protesters are very peaceful, but there's a few that are obviously trying to provoke. There's been a lot of fireworks being thrown at the officers. There are various objects being thrown at them, and the officers are showing a lot of restraint. I think they're going to wait this out and be as patient as they need to be to ensure everybody goes home safe.
But you know what is interesting, Sam? They did make a decision to kind of begin to move these protesters and take control of intersections again. Do you have any idea why they decided to do that?
Well, the primary focus is just to disperse the crowd as much as possible. You don't want a concentration of folks when there are a few that are engaged in provocative antics. And so
What's going on here?
Not here, but it has still calmed down a little bit since from what we've seen earlier today, where people were vandalizing the restaurants there. But there is still that line there right now, as you're seeing. People still holding up signs.
Those things are Terminators, dude.
In front of that line.
Those things are fucking Terminators, man.
It doesn't really look like a couple of people that I've talked to here tonight have said they're gonna keep
Yo, we're all in fucking danger, man.
So it'll be interesting to see how the next couple of hours play out.
The police are Terminators. I think the police are I'm not sure. The police are Terminators. Black King. What's this say? Are they saying my fucking name? What is going on here? This doesn't make any sense. Something doesn't make sense here.
Yes. They need a shot. 279 0154. 0154. 0154. Thank you. Yes.
I'm listening right
Yeah.
now. Atlanta protests. The Atlanta protest. This is not. Something's not right. You'll need to watch the live stream from the beginning to see what's happened. They're talking to me. They're talking about me. I'm actually really fucking freaked out. Oh, reality, yeah. Shit. So what's the Minneapolis ones? There's gonna be a commercial. No, this isn't live. It ended. So what I've gathered here is some pretty random stuff, but it all just everything is just very bad. I'm freaked out right now, personally. Yeah, I need a break from this. We'll talk about this in the morning. I gotta think about what I just saw. Or heard, rather. Shit. See you later.